Jim Renacci's new book, The GOP's Lost Decade, chronicles his move from business into politics, going to Washington, his experiences in Congress, tons and tons of great stories, great insights, and his thoughts on positive and negatives of different things. And I was really interested by, Jim, you supported President Trump very early on, but you had a little remark about being told John Kasich was going to contact you, that there was something that you were interested, at least the door was open to him winning over your support, at least trying to reach out and be receptive to that. And I love the quote. I mean, it's got to be the quote. Kasich never called.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting because I had already agreed to support President Trump. He was coming to Ohio. I agreed to meet with him in Cleveland, Ohio, and I got a phone call from Governor Kasich's office, actually one of his people on his political campaign, asking me if I would endorse John Kasich for president. And I'll never forget this because I was meeting with, at that time, on Saturday. I already had it all scheduled. I was in my office. One of my staffers was there, and when I got the phone call, I basically responded by saying, look, if John Kasich calls me, I'll endorse him. And I hung up the phone, and my staffer said to me, well, you can't do that. The president, you're going to be meeting with Donald Trump, candidate Trump, on Saturday. You've already committed to endorsing him. I go, look, I had to chuckle. I said, my word has always been my bond, and I will never take that back. But I said, I am not worried about the comment I just made. I said, because if John Kasich does call me, I will endorse him. I said, because I have not gotten a phone call from Donald Trump at the time, but I said, I also not worried about it because John Kasich will never call me. So wow. Interesting enough, 2 days passed. That was the Friday, the day before, at that time, candidate Trump was coming in, and I got a call back from the political campaign for John Kasich saying, can we publicly say you're endorsing John Kasich? And I said, John Kasich never called me. Governor Kasich never called me. And he said, you're kidding me. I go, nope, never called me. It's interesting because I did speak to that same gentleman when I was in the Senate race, saying that I wanted to talk to John Kasich at the time, Governor Kasich, and he told me Governor Kasich was not interested in talking to me at the time because he was never happy that I didn't endorse him. And I said, well, remember, I said I would endorse him if he called me. And he goes, I do remember that. He was the same gentleman who had called me, 2 years earlier. So it was interesting that John Kasich did not make that phone call, and it's one of the reasons why he did not get my endorsement, because it was a pretty, it wasn't like it was a major request. Give me a call, and I'll endorse.
Wow, that's great. It's incredible to know that a congressperson couldn't get a call from the governor of the state who's running for president, needs to garner support, was behind. It's just crazy. It's a great story. Folks, get a copy of this book, The GOP's Lost Decade, and get a great reality check on how things work, what was going on, and it's just great. You get to know Jim Renacci so much better.